All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most high-stakes races happening right now, the race for quantum supremacy. This thing is a battle of brains, money, and raw technological power. And guess what? A new heavyweight contender just stepped into the ring, and they're making a huge move. So for the longest time, right, the story of the quantum race was pretty simple. It was all about two global superpowers, the US and China. And you got to understand, we're not just talking about building faster computers here. No way. This is a battle for who controls the future of, well, pretty much everything. Medicine, finance, national security, the whole shebang. So you had the United States doing its thing with a venture-led approach, driven by all that private sector innovation and cutthroat competition. And then, on the other side, you had China with a totally different playbook, a state-directed strategy, just pouring massive amounts of government cash into a single, focused plan. For a long, long time, it really did look like a classic two-horse race. But then, this happened. Out of nowhere, Germany just drops an absolute bombshell. 3 billion euros. That's what they committed in their 2023 action plan just for quantum tech. And let's be clear, this wasn't just some small bet. This was Germany kicking down the door and telling the world, hey, there's a new player in town, and we are serious. Okay, so let's get into it. Germany's quantum bet, a truly national ambition. This huge pile of cash, it's not just being thrown around randomly. Oh no. It's all part of a very deliberate, multi-layered plan to become a global leader in quantum. So let's do what we do best. Follow the money and see what the strategy really is behind this massive gamble. And here's what's so interesting. It's not just one big check. They're layering their investments. It all started with about 2 billion euros from a stimulus package back in 2020. Then came the real game changer, that 3 billion from the 2023 action plan we just talked about. And if that wasn't enough, Germany is also a major player, a real leader in the EU's 1 billion euro Quantum Flagship initiative. So they're not just playing at home, they're shaping the strategy for the whole continent. So, building the quantum arsenal. Look, anybody can throw money at a problem, right? But that doesn't mean you'll win. Germany's real strategy, the clever part, is how they're using that money. They are meticulously building a diverse and powerful quantum arsenal, a whole ecosystem of companies where every single one has a critical part to play. First up, you've got the hardware builders. These are the folks actually making the machines. Think of companies like eleQtron, who are working with something called Rydberg atoms, or planqc, who are taking a different route with neutral atoms. And see, that's the smart part. Germany isn't putting all its eggs in one basket. They're betting on several different technologies, exploring multiple paths to see which one gets them to a working quantum computer first.
Okay, but what good is a super powerful computer if you can't tell it what to do? It's just a fancy box, right? That's where the software brains come into play. You need companies like HQS Quantum Simulations and ParityQC. These guys are the translators. They're building the complex software and algorithms that take a real-world problem, like designing a new drug, and turn it into something a quantum processor can actually understand and solve.
And the strategy gets even smarter, because it goes deeper than just the computers and the code. You've got what I like to call the ecosystem enablers. These are the unsung heroes. For example, Kiutra is tackling one of the gnarliest physical challenges, making the super-duper cold cryogenic systems that these quantum computers need to even function. And then you have companies like QuantiCor, who are already looking ahead, building the next-generation security to keep us safe in a world with quantum computers. It's brilliant. So when you pull back and look at the whole map, a really clear picture emerges. You see this intense cluster of companies in hubs like Munich, for sure, but you also see this strategic spread across the entire country. You've got Heidelberg, you've got Stuttgart. Different regions are specializing in different pieces of the puzzle, from the core quantum computer itself all the way to things like sensors and cryptography. All right, so inside the innovation hubs, we've talked about the companies, but where is all this magic actually happening? Well, it's happening in these super concentrated hubs that create this powerful gravitational pull, sucking in talent and ideas and accelerating everything for everyone. The secret sauce here is something called network effects. It's a really powerful idea. Basically, when you cram the best scientists, a ton of investment money, cutting-edge university research, and big industry players all into one place, something amazing happens. They all start feeding off each other's energy and ideas. Innovation just explodes. New companies pop up, and the hub itself becomes a magnet, pulling in even more talent and money. It's a virtuous cycle. And honestly, there is no better example of this on planet Earth right now than Munich Quantum Valley. I mean, just look at the recipe. You've got 300 million euros from the local government, you've got not one but two world-class universities, you've got deep connections to industrial giants like Siemens and BMW, and you have the actual physical hardware, like the EuroQX quantum computer. Put it all together and Munich is, without a doubt, the epicenter of Germany's entire quantum dream.
But listen, it is not just about Munich. Germany is playing this smart. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. This quantum revolution is a nationwide thing.
Just look around the country. You've got other big initiatives popping up. Over in Lower Saxony, they've got their own quantum valley with 25 million euros to get started. Then you have Baden-Württemberg, a real engineering powerhouse, and they're putting in up to 40 million euros. See, this is a truly national effort from the ground up.
Okay, next section, the global quantum battlefield. Because this incredible national ecosystem they're building, it's not just for German companies. It's turning the country into a global battleground, a place where the biggest quantum giants from around the world are coming to set up shop and compete.
And it's working. Global titans are literally setting up shop in Germany. The pull is so strong, so undeniable, that huge international players are looking at the map of Europe and saying, yep, that's where we need to be. I mean, look at the evidence. You've got IQM Quantum Computers, a major player from Finland. Where did they build a huge development center with 6 quantum systems? Munich. Or how about IBM, an absolute giant from the US? When they decided to open their first ever quantum data center outside of America, they chose Enningen, Germany. And now they're serving over 80 organizations across Europe from there. That tells you everything you need to know.
So this all brings us back to the big question, doesn't it? Will Germany win the race? When you add it all up, the billions in funding, this incredible ecosystem they built, the fact that global giants are moving in, you have to ask, does Germany have what it takes to actually win this thing?
And let me be clear, this isn't just some vague hope or wishful thinking. They have an official roadmap, a concrete plan. The goal is to have a machine with at least 100 qubits online by 2026, then scale that up to 500 qubits. And in the long run, within 5 to 10 years, they're aiming for systems with over 1,000 qubits. These aren't dreams. These are hard targets.
And they're not shy about their ambitions either. I mean, just listen to this quote from Germany's Federal Research Minister, Bettina Stark-Watzinger. She said, "Our goal is to be among the top 3 within the EU and at least reach the level of the US or Japan." Wow. That's not just talk, that is a declared national objective, loud and clear. So, that leaves us with one final pretty provocative question. You've got the billions invested, you have a world-class ecosystem humming with both local and international talent, and you have a crystal clear national strategy. It seems like Germany isn't just trying to compete in the quantum race anymore, they're making a play to lead it. Which really makes you wonder, can anyone stop Germany's quantum rise?